One method that researchers use to study the brain is by way of accidents. Accidents can result in brain damage which may cause confusion, loss of vision or hearing, and memory loss. Phineas Gage was a railroad foreman. He was known as a very kind gentleman and one that was easy to work with. One day, a large iron rod was driven completely through his head, destroying most of his brain's frontal lobe. After the accident, his friends said that he was no longer Gage. His friends said that after the accident, he had become very irritable and angry. This accident proved that at least part, if not all, of a person's personality is controlled by the frontal lobe of the brain. Or maybe the dude was just mad because he had a rod driven completely through his head. Who knows? Another way to study the brain is by removing, cutting, or destroying parts of it, which is referred to as lesions. Obviously, these procedures can't be done on humans because it's inhumane, or whatever. But scientists do perform these experiments on rats. By removing part of the rat's brain, scientists can discover which parts of the brain are associated with certain things, such as if removing part of a brain will make the animals more passive or more aggressive. Different parts of the brain are associated with different types of sensations. Electrical stimulation has been used in humans to relieve pain and control violent behavior. Jose Delgado, a physiologist, showed how electrical stimulation of the brain can change an animal's behavior patterns. He put an electrode into a bull's brain. When the bull's brain was stimulated, the bull stopped charging and circled to the right. James Old and Peter Milner also used electrical stimulation in their experiment. They put electrodes into a rat's brain to learn about the hypothalamus. When the rats pressed on the lever, the electrodes stimulated the hypothalamus. The rats found this stimulation to be pleasurable. The rats continued to press the lever to receive stimulation. With the growth of technology, there are now many ways that allow psychologists to see and measure brain activity. One of these advancements is the
electroencephalograph,
also known as an EEG. An EEG is a device that records the electrical activity of the brain. The electrode attached to the person's head detect brainwaves. For example, they tell whether a person is excited or relaxed. Another way of visually seeing the brain is by way of MRI. During magnetic resonance imaging scans, a person lies in a very powerful magnetic field. Radio waves then cause parts of the brain to give off extra energy.
A functional MRI can show which parts of the brain are active when we perform different activities, such as listening to music or working on a math problem. As you do things, the fMRI can show which parts of the brain are at work. The energy helps to form a picture of what the brain looks like. While in the fMRI machine, when the subject is shown different images or played sounds, different parts of the brain light up. For example, when someone is shown a picture and asked to remember it, the frontal lobe lights up. When a song is played, the temporal lobe lights up. When the subject feels something, the parietal lobe lights up.
In a computerized axial tomography scan, or CAT scan, a moving ring passes X-ray beams around and through the head. The density of the brain tissue determines how much radiation is absorbed. In this way, we are able to see a series of slicing pictures of the brain.